It's This Week in Bourbon, and has the cat got your tongue? Well, here's our headlines for August 7th, 2026. Old Overholt Extra Age Cask Strength 11 Year is coming to market. Uncle Nearest now has a proposed court date, and Jack Daniel's is releasing its High Angel Share Straight Tennessee Whiskey. And before we get started, here's a quick word from our partners. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is This Week in Bourbon. It is Bourbon Release News time. I'm Kenny Coleman.
Brian Cecil here. Another glorious week in This Week in Bourbon.
It is. Thankfully, it wasn't actually. We had so much to talk about the past few weeks. Now that we got to. So at some point, we got to just take some more time off so we have more to talk about.
Everybody's on summer break, I guess.
Yeah,
just
I know.
Getting ready for O&D.
Well,
calm before the storm.
Yep, that. Everybody's going back to school. Unfortunately, we're recording on a Wednesday. It was my test trial of waking back up at 6:15 a.m. after having 2.5 months of 8 a.m. wake ups without any alarms or anything like that. You just kind of wake up with the sun, the counting crows. No, that's a band.
The chirping
the roosters.
birds.
There's no roosters.
Cocking crows.
I know.
Or not crows. Yeah. Yes.
I was trying to. It's like, listen, we live. We live in Kentucky. I don't live on a farm. Okay, I'm painting Louisville like in a bad picture right here. Like we should live in a city.
You got some nice mature trees and shrubs. Those beautiful birds live in.
They do
chirp.
They do. They're in the morning, but it's beautiful.
I could see you shooing awake. Yeah, you're birds.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, we did have the massive branch fall on our house recently,
it's true.
so there went some wildlife, but that's okay. But
the carpenter bees or whoever the bugs that got had a nice lunch on that.
They sure did. Today was my first day back at work starting at 7 a.m. And I think by 11, I texted my wife and I was like, my God, it's only 11. I feel like I've done so much today.
I know.
Like, where'd the time go?
I got there at 5:30 and I was like, and then went to the KDA thing and I was like, gosh, I feel like I was like, why am I so tired? It's only 11. And I was like, well, I've been doing it since 5:30. That's fine. Yeah.
You want to share what you did at the KDA thing today? Or maybe some quick lessons learned?
Yeah, it was a really great, I guess you would call it panel discussion presentation on like the state of how many barrels, it was basically, there's around 16 million barrels aging in the state of Kentucky. And there was a lot of big producers. There was Beam and Makers and Angel's Envy, several folks in the RTD space, trying to, everybody in the industry putting their heads together to figure out, okay, what does this mean for our category? How are we going to approach it? Like, and, what's the long-term outlook like? And so I don't want to get into all detail because that's why, but it was very fascinating. There were some things that I learned and there were some things that made me a little nervous, but, I never thought I would hear, people talking about how to make whiskey taste younger, but that was a part of the discussion because there's going to be a lot of older whiskey, and with people stopping production, reducing it, there's going to be gaps. And then, so you're like, well, why don't you just put older whiskey in, your core base products and stuff? And then I didn't really think about it. And it's like, well, you can't just, have a higher tier product taste the same as your lower tier product. And so, it was an interesting discussion. I'm not sure anything got resolved, but Owen Martin crushed it from Angel's Envy because, he's been, obviously Angel Envy is a finishing brand, but they, since he's taken helm, he's really done a lot of experimentation, a lot of fun blends, a lot of cask finishing. And whereas a lot of these bigger distilleries haven't, you see Beam doing it a little bit. Makers is obviously more traditional, but it was just ideas of how we can use, you're going to have all this a good thing for consumers. You're going to have access to the best whiskey you've had in quite some time for probably the next good 6 years. They're saying so.
Wow. I know you had posed one question to him and it felt like very much a thing of like, well, does cat got your tongue now? Because you want to talk about just very high level about what you had posed to the people, because they were talking about with the influx of barrels and how they're going to keep coming out with more limited releases. And you're like, wait a minute, but if every release is always limited, then is anything special anymore?
Exactly. It's like done. And two, do you cannibalize? Like, all right, you have a customer that's doing this LTO, but then you got another LTO, and then does that like cannibalize that customer? And then what about your core stuff? If you always have all special things, what your core just doesn't matter anymore. And so, yeah, there's no good answer, but they were kind of like, yeah, that's what we struggle with. And so, because, these are legacy brands that have very well-known shelf products that people go and clamor after, but whiskey geeks are obviously going for these LTOs, and that's where they see strong growth and demand in the category, whereas like more of the middle bottom tier stuff is kind of where the struggle is. And so they're trying to wrap their heads around too, like, because I think they see the success of craft distilleries and NDPs and trying to take that and how they can do it without brand diluting too much. And so they're trying to find that balance.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the cat got your tongue if you are interested about it. By the way, I'm so glad you went to it today. You came away with some good little nuggets of information there. I think it does help when everybody kind of gets together and strategizes together, yet everybody leaves and goes and does their own thing. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, like totally.
Come together, share and spill your secrets, and then never talk again.
That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, during the 1700s, the British Navy had a punishment where a whip would be used, and the whip was called the cat o' nine tails. So when a sailor was up to no good and was punished using this whip, it would often leave the sailor too stunned to speak, and this is where the common phrase, cat got your tongue, came from.
Oh, I was just somebody had like a bad interaction with a cat once, and just
I didn't know that either. It was always kind of perplexing to me. It's just like, I've seen a cat. I don't know why it would have my tongue, but now we all know.
Yep. Thanks for enlightening us, Kenny. That's what you do best.
That's what I'm here for. Well, we do have some announcements, and the first one we're going to say is, I hope that you can be here on August 14th for the 1-year anniversary of us being open here at Pursuit Spirits on Whiskey Row and Trial and Error. As a part of doing that, we're going to be running some specials here all week at Whiskey Row. So the week of leading up is going to be 10% off all merch inside of our gift shop, everything except a bottle. So anything that's not liquid based, you can go ahead, you get 10% off that in our gift shop. And then here's the kicker, is that Ryan Rita's as well as the Barrel Aged Manhattan will be on special all week long. So it's basically a week-long happy hour.
Sounds like I need to drink and shop.
Yes. And then we're going to be here at Trial and Error on August 14th from 7 to 9 p.m. To help celebrate our 1-year anniversary. And maybe there'll be cupcakes. We'll see what happens.
Can we get Nita's cheesecakes?
Tell you what, go ahead and put in the order now.
I know. I should text her. Be like, can we get one for her? She'd probably do it. So
you're in charge of cutting the cheesecake.
You got it.
Yes.
Cut the cheese. But it's hard to wrap my head around. It's been a year. I remember this time last year, we were just scrambling, hustling, trying to get this place put together. And now we're scrambling, hustling, trying to get liquid in bottles, and you kind of lose sight. We've been so busy that like a year's just absolutely flown by. So.
I know that doesn't bode well for the years to come. Honestly, it's like if that's how fast 1 year went, don't blink and then 5 will be gone.
I know. That's what me and my wife been doing, like the loop. It's like 3.5 miles, and the other day I was just like, we've been doing this for the podcast for 10, but the brand for 6, and. Wow, it's been a grind. It's been so hard.
It feels longer than that.
It feels longer than that. Yeah. It's taking a toll. That's for sure.
It sure has. Well, that is going to be the cherry on top. And that's only because the entire week of our anniversary, so everything from August 11th through the 14th, we'll be doing live recordings pretty much every single day from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. down here at the studio, as well as here during Trial and Error. We will have it live streamed over in the lounge. We're going to have guests on from Maker's Mark, Heaven Hill, Short Barrel, Potter Jane. I put out the newsletter today. I think we're doing another 10 or 12 episodes next week. So
some epic guests there.
It is a full packed schedule. So it's going to be awesome. Hope to see you, all of you, a bunch of you here. Pack the house. Go get some Ryan Rita's and some Barrel Aged Manhattans while you sit there and watch some live recordings as it happens as well too.
And Kenny will feed you cheesecake.
With a silver spoon too.
That's right.
I will. All right. Beyond that, one just reminder is that if you do want to purchase anything off the Pursuit website, we do now offer shipping available to the state of Kentucky, as well as if you go to the site and you add something to cart, it could be automatically added from our friends over at Sealbox. And so it'll be, go ahead and it will be fulfilled from them as well, depending on if they can ship to your area.
Awesome.
And
Easy
then,
peasy.
yes. And then other events, I will be in Chicago on September 3rd. I'll be doing an event over at Bitter Pops. And then I'm also going to be in Washington, D.C. on October 11th for Premier Drams. And I know you're going to be in Georgia.
That's right. I'll be in Atlanta, well, north of Atlanta in Marietta. So August 18th, I will be there doing a bottle signing at the world famous Sprayberry Bottle Shop in Marietta, Georgia from 2 to 5. And then I got to hustle over and I'm doing a bourbon presentation and Q&A at Roswell Junction in Roswell Junction.
I was like, Roswell, New Mexico?
I can't read. Forgive me. Forgive me, Roswell. I'm trying to do this for my phone, but Roswell Junction in Roswell, Georgia from 6:30 to 8. And then Sarah's going to be doing a bourbon dinner at the Village Grill in Covington, Georgia. That is on August 20th. Details still being finalized on that, so we'll talk about it next week. But we'll put some posts on social media, so stay tuned for that. And then also,
speak of the devil, she's trying to call you.
I know she's
right
trying
now.
to call me. I'm trying to read, Sarah, all the stuff you sent me.
I wonder if we got to figure out where that comes from. Speak of the devil.
That's right.
Probably
That's next week.
There you go. Go ahead.
Sarah and the team will be out in Colorado. So if you're in Colorado Springs, they do an awesome event, Peaks and Pours. We've been a part of it the last few years, so we will be out there. So come on, stop by and see us.
Yes.
Get some tasty stuff.
Lots of activations, lots of things happening. And with that, we're also growing our ambassador team. So if you happen to be in the Phoenix area, anywhere, Dallas, Houston, all around either Reno, maybe we could probably use one more in the Las Vegas area, Orange County, other places in California, feel free to hit me up. Also Memphis, Tennessee. I'm trying to think of where else. A lot of places right now. Just send me a message and maybe we could use your weekend time to go ahead and schlep some bottles of whiskey.
That's right. It's the best job ever.
Well, to continue our streak of doing new whiskeys, because we have too many to do for this week in for Whiskey Quickies, we got something new here in our glass as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this. So I think I can get Shang. So this is a
got
bottle
that.
of Shang.
Good job.
But it's Xinjiang whiskey. Xinjiang whiskey.
I'm so glad I let the guy from Bardstown read this one.
That's right. So from my understanding, it is a type of Baijiu that was brought into Kentucky and aged in American oak. So Baijiu, if you don't know, is the world's #1 selling spirit. Obviously, a lot in China and Asia, but I'd had Baijiu before.
What regions of China, Ryan? Would you like to? I'm just kidding.
Hong Kong? I don't know.
I don't think so, but okay.
Yeah. That's the only region I know. Shanghai? I don't know.
There you go. All right.
Or Xinjiang.
There you go.
But yeah, so our good friend Monica Wolf's been a part of this project. So I think it's a cool project. Yeah, we got it. We're going to smell it, taste it, see
Yeah.
what we think.
Let's go.
Definitely out of our comfort zone.
I know. Well, on with the nose. It's actually, the nose is quite pleasant. I was just as we were sitting here talking, let the aromatics hit me, and it's just like, ooh, that is super fruity.
Yeah, it smells like some ripe melons. It's, I don't know. There's some ripe melon. It's like a fruit cocktail that's been sitting out like at your family reunion.
And I always throw this one around, but honeysuckle. And
Oh, yeah,
it's
there's strong
definitely
honeysuckle.
get that. Maybe a little bit of like a juniper berries
It's like,
or something.
you know, that fruit cocktail syrupy, that you get in the Dole cup, whatever.
When you open it, all of a sudden it
And it
splashes
explodes everywhere.
Yeah, I
Our
know.
school banned those. Like, you can't bring those for lunch because everybody's just
Squirting everywhere.
squirting juice everywhere.
All right, on with the taste.
Okay.
That's light, refreshing. It's also 50% ABV.
Yeah, you get a lot of those tropical fruits are coming out. It's got some nice subtle oak on it. There is like this strange earthiness that I don't necessarily know, but I mean, it's interesting.
I can see why this is like a #1 spirit This is something that is not, it's not overpowering.
It kind of reminds me of like sake almost.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Like
say.
a chilled
Maybe not sake, but it's definitely a rice wine kind of thing, where it's definitely heavier than a sake. Sake is usually like
it's
upwards
not
of 20%.
Yeah, it's not as light and bright as a sake, but it has like undertones of sake. It's like an oak age sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something there. But yeah, there is a little bit of that bitterness on the end. But
I think that would be really fun to use in cocktails and stuff too.
Yeah.
There's just so many interesting flavors. That'd be fun.
I think so too. Quick thumbs.
Nose was a little strange for me. I'm going to go sideways.
All right. You don't need to wait for me.
Taste. I hate, like I've had baijiu before and it was undrinkable. Like,
okay. So this is a thumbs up then.
This is a thumbs up. This is good. I like it.
All right, then. You know where it
And the finish is, it's great. It's for baijiu. It's in the baijiu category. It's awesome, but I can see this. There's a ton of interest in like Asian culture in America. There's a lot of, just younger drinkers that are really interested in that culture. So I could see this, and it's pretty light and approachable. I could see this working for the next generation of drinkers.
Yep. Xinjiang whiskey. That's actually pretty cool. And I love this bottle. I know it's hard to see on here, but it is a sweet little mini.
Yeah.
And it has a cork on it and everything. That's got to be expensive.
It's like those ice artists in Japan did it, It's like a block of ice. They were just chipped away at it.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's dive into some industry news here. So the first one is the legal battles between Uncle Nearest and I guess everybody else. So the proposed trial date actually has been set for October 19th, 2027. So we've still got some time to uncover some stuff. So according to court filings submitted back in July 8th of 2026, which is a discovery conference, initial disclosures are scheduled September 1st, 2026, as the parties navigate a receivership counterclaim, ongoing discovery, and potential bankruptcy estate implications preceding an anticipated sale of the company's operational assets. Adding to this friction, legal documentation shows the trademark for the hashtag the People's CEO remains listed under Uncle Nearest ownership, raising potential infringement issues with Fawnweaver's personal website. Meanwhile, speculative interest has also surged regarding potential buyers for the brand's assets, centering on a newly formed 2026 holding from a firm called A. Lee Holding Company, which features a leadership team that includes Chairman Arnold Green and Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer Mike Parker. I don't know who they are, but separately...
Arnold's great.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know.
Separately, the Humble Baron venue is preparing to host an upcoming event in August featuring the Nappy Roots.
Oh, no. Hell no.
Y'all come and get it. I mean, we love Nappy Roots. They're from Louisville, right? And that's where they started?
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green.
Close,
that's
close
right.
enough.
Hey, we'll take it. It's Kentucky.
I put on Country Grammar, or not Country Grammar. That's Nelly.
Nelly.
But whatever. I think it's just called Oh No. Is the song for Rowan like a few weeks back, and he was like, "This is awesome."
Oh, he liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. Usually,
it's got that like dun dun. It's like an organ playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song.
It is. It's sweet.
But I will say the Nappy Roots. The reason I play them, they were playing at a concert at Nolan Lake, and so yeah, they used to like headline much bigger things. So
hey,
they're still great though.
That's what happened. Now they're doing the circuit all around Kentucky and middle America.
So I thought Humble Baron was shut down. They're opening back, or
I don't know. That's what they said. There's just something that's
just so much back and forth in this. I can't keep it straight.
It's all right. Well, when you have 42 different LLCs that that shelter and coverage and move stuff, it's really hard to keep track of everything.
We need to do that.
It's okay. I figured out how to spin up LLCs. I can have one by the end of this episode.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Claude.
So MGP, as we've been paying attention to the news, is also facing some more headwinds as its Distilling Solutions division has suffered another decline in Q2 of 2026. And the only reason we know this is because it is a publicly traded company. It had a 59% drop in whiskey sales. Overall, the company's Overall, the company's sales fell 15% to $124.4 million. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad.
I know. I'm like, I'll take a tenth of that.
Yeah, just in one quarter.
5%.
Sure. driven primarily by shrinking demand for brown goods, which previously led the company to pause distillery operations in Kentucky at the Limestone Branch and Lux Row distilleries back in May. Despite this slump, MGP saw resilience in premium branded spirits, where Penelope Bourbon grew by 13%, alongside strong performance from Yellowstone whiskey. Total operating income shifted down to around $17.5 million due to the sector declines and a credit loss from the customer during bankruptcy, but MGP is maintaining its full year 2026 revenue forecast of around $480 to $500 million.
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, when people see whiskey sales, they think of the branded stuff, but that's just contract distillation warehouse. Like I noticed too, if you read through, like they've seen a huge uptick in like post distillation services or whatever you call it.
That was a great term that Monica made.
But with barrel storages, processing, blending, but obviously a lot of barrel storage right now. But yeah, I'm not surprised because everybody's cutting production, and that was one of the challenges we were talking about today at the KDA. Is like, well, if you're cutting production, what does this mean in 6 years? And this is going to be I think it's going to be a problem once again, especially with a younger generation coming up, getting of drinking age, getting into bourbon. I'm always glass half full, but I see an issue, and then this is going to hurt, NDPs and people that source and whatnot. But it's just a weird. You either have too much, too little, and right now they have too much, but soon enough they'll have too little. Yep.
Yeah, it's circle of life.
It is.
It sure is. Well, the other part about what you're saying is I really hated what the media did to this, because they were like, oh, MGP sales slumped by 59%, and they show bottles of Penelope everywhere. I'm like, wait a minute. They were up 13%. So Mike and Danny are doing great. They're the shining star right now.
That's the best buy they ever did, because what a way to offload extra inventory through Penelope.
Oh, yeah. That's their golden goose right now. So go ahead and make that thing keep laying eggs. Chevalier Casks has announced that they have launched something new called the Chevalier Cask Exchange. It's an expansion of its brokerage business designed to help distilleries, brand owners, and bottlers buy and sell whiskey barrels, bulk spirits, and cooperages. The hybrid, which is a broker-managed online marketplace, merges the direct brokerage services with digital options such as a buy now listing, direct offers, negotiated transactions, and timed sales. This was something that was co-founded by Cody Adkins, Ben Franzini, and Sam Brock. They're also behind Bluegrass Distilling, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And the platform is there to increase inventory visibility while managing complex details like ownership, verification, bonded storage, and many other things as well, too. You can go to chevaliercasks.com to learn more.
We bought barrels from Chevalier before.
We have. Yeah. They're just creating an online marketplace,
kind of like
Hogshead, Barrel Hub. Yeah. And funny enough, they had actually mentioned a lot of those about like, hey, this is what we're doing differently than them, but it is another
much
online
like
marketplace. Yes. So you go ahead and get your barrels there if you want them there, mister.
Yeah, there is a rise in these like private white label services that like, these whiskey groups or whoever, like, instead of going doing barrel picks, I'm going to white label my own, and you can use places like this to get those barrels and stuff.
But you do that, you put guys like me out of business.
I know, so don't do it.
Don't do that. Come buy a bottle of Pursuit. Anybody can go get it some 7-year MGP. Like
exactly.
That's not special. But a double oak bourbon, now you're talking.
Blend of 3 mash bills.
Oh, there's only one.
No one else does it.
That's the original. Pursuit. Always the real thing.
That's right.
Trademark from Coca-Cola. We'll wait for that cease and desist. All right. Our last one here is that if you're a bourbon history enthusiast, there is now a new book coming out this fall, and it's from executive bourbon steward D.T. Poole, and it's called The Men Who Made American Bourbon, which serves as the first volume of the Bourbon Baron series. It's going to be a 260-page release. It's going to talk about the straight history without the promotional mythology behind it. And it's going to focus on the true stories, which we'll see, of 6 key industry pioneers, including James Crowe, Elijah Craig, George Garvin Brown, William LaRue Weller, James E. Pepper, and E.H. Taylor, tracing all their impact from the 1790s to the eve of Prohibition. If you want to learn more, you can pre-order the book ahead of its official release happening on October 1st at DudePoole. That's POOLE.com.
Sounds like a good read.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're into history and you love bourbon, I think that was an important time period in the category, so it'd be cool.
I would like to see what facts he finds out about Elijah Craig, though.
That's right.
Other than being a reverend, right, and being around there, but beyond that,
the barrel's never caught on fire.
Yeah,
that's the fact.
In fact, these guys never lived. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll be interested to kind of see what happens. I did actually get an advanced copy, so if you want it, I will send it your way, Ryan. You can read ahead. Well, that's going to be it for the bourbon news, but stick around. Bourbon release news, as always, coming up after the break. Hey everybody, bourbon release news time, and just a couple to go over. And the first one talked about at the top of the show, and that is Overholt is expanding its portfolio, its quote-unquote premium portfolio, with the release of Old Overholt Extra Aged Cask Strength 11-Year 2026 edition. Say that 10 times fast. Marking its 4th year of this annual release, the unfiltered Kentucky-style American rye whiskey was distilled and barreled in the spring of 2014. Matured against 3 different warehouses in Claremont. It's 11-year rye, 11-year rye, bottled at 125.6 proof, and it'll have a price tag of $110.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Hey, we got all this extra whiskey. We got all these brands. Now we're going to premiumize all the things that used to be in plastic bottles on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, but
they did that with old Granddad already. Yeah,
I like Overholt rye. Be interested. I mean, I'll try it 11. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Can only be better, right?
But we would hope so.
Yeah.
We'd hope so. Well, they should just make their own BTAC line at this point, right?
They should.
Well, Middle West Spirits, we'll be talking about them on the podcast next week, so stick around for that release. But they have announced the launch of Old Elk 10-Year-Old Collection, and this is marking the first major new release since Middle West has acquired Old Elk back in May of 2025. This is going to have 3 different distinct whiskeys that have been aged for 10 years each, and they're all going to have a price tag of just $70. And so this is going to be the Old Elk 10-Year-Old Straight Bourbon, bottled at 105 proof, and that has a 34% malted barley mash bill. That's what I pulled out of here. There's also the 10-year-old straight wheat whiskey, bottled 103 proof, and that's a 96% soft red winter wheat. And there is also going to be a recipe featuring a 46% wheat, which I'm guessing that is just the Old Elk wheated mash bill.
Wheated bourbon?
Wheated bourbon. There you go. That's what I meant to say. That's right here. 10-year-old Old Elk wheated bourbon, 105 proof, and that's a 46% wheated mash bill.
I mean, there was a magical run when their wheated bourbons and their wheated whiskey were like in the 5-6 year old range, and we're all calling them the Weller Killers and all this back in, I don't know, what was that, 2019?
Yeah.
2018, 2019, somewhere there. So now that they're 10, sign me up. I bet they're awesome.
Yeah, I'd say if we had some that were cask strength that we could try against maybe an actual Weller.
I think we have some samples sent to us.
Do we? All right. Yep. All right. Well, we'll get to it.
Sampies.
Hold your horses. Maybe that'll be next week's This Week in Bourbon. We won't even wait until we do a whiskey quickie.
Yep.
Well, if you're in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, you might care about this one a lot. So it's going to make a comeback after more than 110 years. Take a small little break there. Obernauer Company, which was originally founded in 1885, has officially announced its return to Steel City, happening on August 4th, 2026. The historic company closed its doors back in 1915 and faded into history, but the original founder's great-great-grandson, I don't know if I said 3 greats in there, but it's only 2 greats, Matthew Obernauer, is reviving the family legacy, and the brand's new home will be located at 2613 Smallman Street in Pittsburgh's Strip District, with plans to open a brand new tasting room and a craft cocktail space in the coming months.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Gotta get your terrible towel out and wave it around.
There you go. I'm sure that's exactly what they're thinking, the decor in there. And they're like, yeah, just go ahead and bring your towels. Go ahead and post them up on the wall and really pay an ode to the H. Obernauer and Company back in 1885.
Go dominate that Pittsburgh market. It's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the other one we had talked about at the top of the show, is that Jack Daniel's has released its latest, which is the Jack Daniel's Distillery Series Selection Number 17 High Angel Share Straight Tennessee Whiskey.
Okay.
Selected by whiskey taster Dale McGee. All right, so there we go. It was originally laid down back in 2016, matured for 10 years on the top floor of Coy Hill barrel warehouses 1 through 13. And that intense heat at the top created some crazy evaporation. They're not telling everything in here, but it says it's heavily concentrated, but it will be released at barrel proof, which is 138.4 proof.
Damn.
I know. So close. In 375 ml bottles with a suggested retail price of $45 each. Available only at retail locations in Tennessee and at their White Rabbit bottle
Did you say 375s or 750?
375s.
375s. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not to send people to a different podcast, but
the one on Park Street.
The one on Park Street.
I listened to that one as well.
Is it Chris Fletcher?
Yeah.
Talking about how they've had these innovations like mapped out years and years ago, because that's what Jack did originally. But there's no doubt that I feel Jack does the LTO game like really well. I mean, they've all been killer.
They do, and they just keep bringing out more and more.
It's like, how's the old number 7 so bad? But the same whiskey, that y'all do, and let it just age longer and longer and whatever is amazing. So,
and there's something magical at that Coy Hill. I mean, people talk about, I think ever since they did the first Coy Hill release, and I think we talked about this on a roundtable, maybe you had mentioned it years ago about how people are going to start naming releases after the barrel warehouses they came from. And now you do that. It started with Deatsville. Then it went to like M warehouses, I think at Four Roses.
Yep.
Then it went to...
Then Beam did it with they had the Claremont versus Boston versus Frankfurt.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily naming rick houses, but they were, because they have in 3 different locations across the state. But yeah.
Yeah, you had
then
that.
You got Turkey, obviously,
mm-hmm.
the most famous for
Nelson
and
Camp
Tyrone.
Nelson, exactly. And now, obviously, you have Coy Hill that is starting to really take a name for itself. And here's the thing, I didn't realize it. I guess there's 13 different barrel warehouses in Coy Hill.
Oh,
so that's probably an average. We'll take 20,000 times 13. Okay, that's how many barrels there are. So don't try to be like, well, this one's from Coy Hill. Well, there's also probably 200,000 of them. But not to take anything away from it. I'm sure it's all great. But I didn't realize there were that many on Coy Hill.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing I heard today was there's 16 million barrels in Kentucky, but like 13 or 14 million are amongst like 4 or 5 brands.
Oh,
which is crazy.
They're the ones that they're holding the bag right now.
That's right.
I get it. Well, I'll tell you what, help us help you. You have something interesting, unique. You really need to sell at a great price. You want to help a brand that is really growing. Reach out to us. We might make something happen.
We can do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We can use your whiskey and make you all more money and us money.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, 2 more here, and that Wyoming Whiskey is introducing its newest limited edition release called Wyoming Whiskey State of the Union. And this is exclusively in Wyoming to commemorate the upcoming 250th anniversary of America's independence. It's not over yet. The special bottling pays tribute to I'm not reading that crap. It's a 6-year-old bourbon and bottled at 98 proof, $80. There you go.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Non-GMO grains. It was like, it pays special tribute to the grit, resilience, and independent spirit of the American West. Like, I don't give a shit. All right.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like, I'm here for the facts, right? Like, don't give me that fluff. So
just give me stats.
I know. All right, our last one here. Dancing Goat has announced the launch of its Stillman Sonder. And this is a new whiskey brand representing 3 generations of spirits industry dedication from the Moss family. The inaugural release features 2 distinct expressions, both of which carry no age statement, but the first is Stillman Sonder Bourbon, which is matured in both Andean and American oak barrels. When I said it's like Andean. Never heard of it. With double oak components and intentional oxidation before being bottled at 94 proof. The second expression is Stillman Sonder's American Single Malt, which was distilled in Indiana, aged in Wisconsin, and subjected to 3 rounds of blending and finishing in virgin oak, ex-bourbon, Wisconsin brandy, cognac, and Calvados casks before being bottled at 96.4 proof, and these will both be available for $70.
I always like what they do at Dancing Goat. Like they use a lot of MGP, but they always make it taste really good.
They do.
They do a great job blending, finishing. Yeah, I've always been happy with their products.
Yeah. And speaking of this Oxidation, intentional oxidation.
They leave the lid off the tote.
Well, I was gonna send this to you. I was watching a video. Shout out to John and the Juice. If you've ever followed him on Instagram, he did a video over at Old Commonwealth, and Old Commonwealth talks about they do this as well. They do intentional oxidation, where they will literally leave the bungs off the barrels for days, weeks at a time to just go ahead and kind of like get all those vapors and everything out of there. And if you've tried anything from Old Commonwealth, there might be something to it.
I mean, I've done this
accidentally,
and then I've done it intentionally several times on some particular batches that I thought were just a little hot, little spicy. Left the lid off for about 3 or 4 days. Didn't tell you, but
it works.
It works.
Yeah,
in the jacuzzi, man.
We're gonna start doing extra.
Just gotta make sure you have good filters to get all the fruit flies out.
Yeah, there you go. So check your bottles for fruit flies out there.
Yep.
All right. That's it, everybody. Hope you enjoy this week's episode. Make sure you make plans to be here on our birthday week. Well, at least it's our anniversary for Whiskey Row downtown, August 11th through the 14th. And again, Ryan and I will be here not only during the week recording from 11 to 3, but we'll also be here on the evening, Friday, August 14th for some celebration.
Party.
Yes. But with that, cheers, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Toodles.